All right, we are live. Let me get the chat on. Yeah, I feel good about this upcoming week with trading. I want to talk about some new the indicators. I see indicators that I think these are my final ones for real this time, and just things that help you trade ICT so much better. It's Johnny dropped this one today basically on a video. This is ICT higher time frame candles, right? So it shows you where price is, and it doesn't print. Actually, does it print in real time? Maybe it is printing in real time. I want to wait till I want to wait till to see if it works, if I like it. But it basically prints in real time, like the higher time frame, like the power of 3 indicator basically. But it shows you more candles. Like it shows you way more candles. It shows you the 1 hour. It shows you the 4 hour. It shows you the daily if you want it, and the weekly. But I'm probably gonna turn the daily and weekly off. But it shows you in real time where we are on the market of the 1 hour. There is a fair value gap here, so it's gone now that we've moved up a little bit. So we should be going down to this fair value gap. Oh, it is printing in real time. So you don't really need the ICT power of 3, the higher time frame power of 3 indicator anymore. I have it on here obviously, but technically this higher time frame, ICT higher time frame, is better to me because I need like a bias. Y'all know I hate flipping back and forth between different time frames. So now that I have the hour, and this is the current hour candle we're in, printing the 4 hour. This is the current candle. Actually, it should be showing it. It might be lagging a little bit, but either way, it shows in real time. Oh no, it's moving. It's just moving slowly because it's a bigger candle. But basically, in its Asian session, this prints in real time and gives you all the things. Like now you have like, oh, we swept hourly liquidity. We're going down to this hour fair value gap, blah, blah, blah. And it's just right next to your, whatchamacallit. Tonight we're going to back test gold versus NQ, even though I'm pretty sure I want to stick with NQ. We had great price action on Friday. We had SMT. ES did not come down, sweep the London low. NQ swept the London low. On NQ, we were also in a 1 hour fair value gap. And on the 15-minute chart, we're in the same gap. The gaps align. The gaps align, and then we reverse for the rest of the day. And then we didn't really get the move until, even if you go on a 3-minute chart, till 10 o'clock, which is the best part about 10 o'clock. You don't get your candle close to 10:03 to inverse the gap for an entry. If you're on the 1 minute, maybe you got one, but either way. So let's talk about these indicators that really help me just do the work for me. I get it to do on indicators, but I love them. So number 1, we have the ICT sessions, right? ICT session just marks liquidity for easy SMT, because if you weren't looking at this chart, you could have thought this point, I mean, it is the same point, and it did sweep liquidity. It swept this internal liquidity here, and you could be like, oh, they're both doing the same thing, because they will look the same for the most part. However, time and price, you see that it's not the same. We did not sweep the London low versus NQ we did. So it just keeps it easy for that, number 1. Number 2, you can put your 8:30 open and your midnight open, which I really don't even give a fuck about midnight open. However, on days like this, if you do a daily power of 3, we came down first, which should mean in New York, we go up to make a good green candle or blue candle. Technically, we open here, the lowest we've been. Actually, it still might be a white candle because it came up and then it came back down, but it still came lower and then we went to go higher in New York. I like 8:30 open, however, the most, and then 9:30. This 9:30 open you have to get on the ICT everything indicator, which usually you use just for the opens. Like you can do your 8:30, 9:30, and midnight on the ICT everything indicator. But since I use it on the sessions indicator for my midnight 8:30, I only use the 9:30 one. But it does all the lines for you as well, and it makes vertical lines for you as well. But I had another indicator for vertical lines at midnight, which I probably don't need it. I probably could take the sessions breaks off and then just do the ICT everything, but sometimes they are hard to switch. But either way, your 8:30 open basically For your New York Judah swing, you kind of want to go below 830 for a buy day. You want to be above 830 for a sell day. Obviously, it doesn't happen all the time, but it is what it is. But for real, really the sessions, obviously the fair value gap indicator, I don't draw my fair value gaps as you see, because then once we get on the 3 minute, I can just be like, oh, we finally inverse this fair value gap and just enter. I don't have to draw it. It's just there, and it inversed it without me having to draw it. Same with this one. It came back, tapped it, and we reversed back up without me having to draw it. Do with that what you will. You don't really need it. But I really want to test out this. Tomorrow is Columbus Day, though, however, so I don't think I'm going to trade tomorrow. The market is open tomorrow, though, but it's a no-news Monday, I'm pretty sure. So I don't think it'd be worth the trade. Yeah, no news Monday. Who knows, though? Might take the day off, might sit and watch the charts. Either way, I'm really liking this indicator. It's called ICT Higher Time Frame Candles, HTF candles. And it shows you what the 1 hour looks like right now and the 4 hour looks right now, without you having to even go up on them. And then if you're up on them, like if you want to go up to the 1 hour or the 4 hour, you go on the 1 hour. The next one next to you is just the 4 hour, and then the daily and the weekly. So it kind of moves it for you. There's that fair value gap on the 1 hour I was talking about. Hopefully we're in that one tomorrow. By the time we're not trading tomorrow, but if we trade tomorrow, it'd be nice that we're already down in here. We just trade sideways at Asian and London. We come down here in New York and then reverse to take out these highs would be nice. Yeah. So Johnny put me on this. You can it shows you your fair value gaps and then your volume imbalances, which I don't really trade those, but you can turn those off. But I did turn the fair value gaps on. I switched it to the color of my candles. And this is what the 4 hour chart looks like. So if you go to the 4 hour, you see we have, 2 big blue, 3 little whites. Go to the 4 hour, and that's what we have. Our 2 little whites and our big blue. I actually have 1 blue. So I don't know how accurate it actually is. But then this is your daily now and just your weekly. So this is what you can do besides sitting on higher time frames, looking at your chart. Oh, I lied. No, it's 1 blue candle, yeah, and 2 small ones. This is your 4 hour. We're going down, 3 whites, 1 blue, 2 whites. Just make sure it's accurate. Let's make sure it's accurate, actually. Yeah, 3 down, boom, 1 blue, 2 whites. So yeah, it's pretty accurate. So you really could just trade like that. That could be your whole full screen right there. You have your higher time frame analysis over here, and then you're trading on this chart, and then you keep going down to different time frames. Boom. Do with that what you will. With this indicator, though, I feel like with this, without the higher time frame power of 3, I could see it printing, and I could sit on the 15-minute on both, and then watch how the 1 hour is printing in real time. And I think that will be really helpful for my trading. And this is our 1 hour fair value gap. We can label it. And then, move on from there. So let's back test. I want to see how gold, my Safari, whatchamacallit, is not working for some reason. So gold, prime time is 8:30, NQ 9:30. So let's just look at what respects what the best, and we'll go from there. 15-minute charts, we can actually see movements a little better, not get so many fake outs on the lower time frame, but also not super high where this is just 1 hour candle and you don't really see much. Next New York session. Let's mark 9:30. And then 8 o'clock, 8:30 on gold. All right, there is liquidity here. I don't know if we're gonna reverse from or not. There's another one here. And then in Q we have an order block, and then we have a variety gap down here. Let's see what happens. which price action is clear. I'm gonna stick with NQ though. I think I've already been trading ES for so long and then NQ for so long that I just know how they move. Okay, so gold, we got a nice reversal at the liquidity point I marked out, and then went to take out sell side beautifully around 9:30, 9:15, honestly, and then NQ came down into this order block and then reversed from there. Both pretty clean price action this day. Like, I've been looking at them, they've both been kind of the same today that I've been back testing. And then we took out all these highs. This is what you want. We can get trades like this every day. It'd be nice. Come down to order block, boom. First candle close out of it, boom, buys. Come up here, liquidity sweep reversal, down, sells. If every day could be like this, we'd all be rich as hell. Next New York session. Mark out 9:30. I should mark out 10 because that's when I trade. I trade at 10 because I let the 9:30 mess do its thing. Because it looks like we had news today at 8:30. I mean, honestly, with this gold, no, I was going to say this candle was smaller. But we did get a little fair value gap. Like, news, fair value gap, tap to continue lower if you wanted it. NQ, we'll just see what it does. It could go up to these data highs to reverse. We'll see. Let me know which price action y'all think is better. Okay, so NQ didn't do much. I mean, we do kind of have an order block here, but we've been kind of trading in it. So I guess if you wanted that move up, again, 10 o'clock is when it gets pumping. That's why I like to let this first 3 minutes of the market do its thing, these little fake outs, and then trade at 10. Honestly, this candle would have maybe had me into wanting to get in sells. That's why you wait a little bit and get on it. This little trade played out if you wanted it. Like I said, we made a fair value gap between this candle and this candle. We came up into that fair value gap on this candle, went down to this liquidity point. Not that big of a trade, but with gold, you don't. It's kind of like NQ where small moves risk a lot of money. The numbers are more spread out, however, but it's still a lot of money. So that you could have made some money on that. Clean price action, though, I think went into a fair value gap to liquidity. I like it when it's just simple like that. NQ, not the best because it's hammer fake out, but you do still come back into this little order block, breaker, whatever you want to call it. We come out of it a little bit. Don't really get market structure shift until the candle that pushes, but you're changing the state delivery happens right there. Came back in for you, and then it pushed. I think gold has a better price action on this day, however, because, yeah, you see the CISD, but it's not as clear. It's still the same direction, just like a break of structure back in, delete. Let's see. Okay, we do have a gap we're filling here. So maybe we come up to this gap, fill it, and reverse. Gold, there's some equal highs here and into that gap that we just made the previous day. Let's see. 8:30 news we already had, and then we pushed. 9:30. Let's see which price action is cleaner. Okay, NQ went down first, swept liquidity, and then went higher, which isn't the worst. But it isn't the worst thing. There's no fair value gaps here anyway. I mean, I guess if you want this order block here, I mean, this is like a giant order block technically because it just moved down and came up. But technically, we started moving up after this peak candle here. So it came down, swept liquidity into this, and then ran up. Was this 9:30? 9:45, 10 o'clock, I'm in that hoe. See what I'm saying? I wait till 10, just get all this out the way, this downward move first, and then 10 o'clock I just could just buy or just sell, usually. That's what I like to do. Gold, not as nice today. We got this news indecisive. We came up, we came back down, and let's see if we eventually head to these highs. We do. So, I mean, there's no value up here because of the news candle, but it did come up. Gold is a for sure order block E thing to trade. Like, it loves order blocks more than fair value gaps. It respects fair value gaps too, but it loves to come back. Like, you don't need a fair value gap, and it'll come back into for sure like a zigzag. That's not the path. It's very much like come up, down into a previous point, and then go higher. Really clean. Honestly, both have been clean. The moves are bigger on NQ, I'd say though. I will say that. I will give NQ that. But yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with NQ because I know anytime you go to something new, it's gonna be a learning curve, and I feel like I don't want to deal with that learning curve right now. However, the peak time on gold from the pin to the ring. The peak time on gold is 8:30, and the peak time for me on NQ is 10 o'clock. So therefore, I could trade both because you know me, I don't trade that long. Or if I don't get it set up, I'm out of here. But let's see what we have. We have next day on gold. Okay, gold pushed. Did we reverse from somewhere? Okay, yes, we have these equal highs up here. And then your SMT for gold is silver. And then obviously your SMT for NQ is ES. All right, 9:30 on ES. We can have a market maker sell, but let's just see what the market wants to do. Play it out, and we see what price action is good, the best. All right. I mean, gold really just disrespected these fair gaps. However, you do get a perfect inverse, which is nice. Like if this candle would have ran to like the middle of this, you'd have been fucked. But the candle ran down, gave you an entry right under this inverse fair value gap, which is a nice, clean candle close. You're in sales to your liquidity point, or this fair value gap down here. So that's a clean move. Does it keep going, or is it finally reverse? Keeps going a little bit. Maybe to the London low is where we wouldn't go to on gold. I just neglected NQ. We'll discuss NQ in a second. Either way, I would not hold that long. We got a nice move. We still kept going lower. I'm sure you get a nice 1 to 2. Let's see. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Way more than 1 to 2. Also, you get a 1 to 3. And then in Q, what do we get? Chop City. Chop City, and then 10 o'clock is here. We came up, we came down to sweep these lows at 10:15, and then we finally pushed. I'm trying to see if there's a fair value gap or anything. No, I guess I just wanted to sweep these equal highs first. And then push. It's decent price action, but just these highs here could have faked anyone out. Like we were looking for a reversal. But I guess we already had a market maker sell, so maybe you just waited for the liquidity point and you would have drew it. You either would have drew this one maybe, or obviously these equal lows, and then waited for the reversal. So not bad. If you just got in trigger happy and didn't zoom out, yeah, you might have got faked out in a buy on these two candles on the lower time frame. However, if you waited for a sell and then a reversal, you got that as well. I think, so not bad. I'm sure on the higher time frames, all this is more clear. I just want to see if it respects. And they both respect really nicely, honestly. It's really just do I want to get up early or not, and I don't think I do now that I'm in Mexico. When I go back to Georgia, maybe 8:30 is not a bad time, but 6 a.m. is a little early for me, not going to lie. Let's delete, and then next New York session. All right, 8:30. But a lot of people trade at least two things. I don't. I like to focus on one, or like I traded ES and then I moved on to NQ, and I felt like I was good enough to do so. And then that's it though. I would do it for value gap here, and internal liquidity here on NQ, and then on gold we have this gap here that we might hopefully maybe we come up to this gap again, either inverse or take out these highs, or bounce off of it and take out the previous day low. Then in Q, whatever. It's in a weird spot in Q that it needs to play out more before I can have an analysis on where it's gonna go, but let's see. Okay, gold inverse this gap. Boom, buys to the high. I mean, I don't know if that's a nice enough trade, but this candle take it to the high. Boom, and it went through it, so that's a good trade. Inverse this gap here. If you need me to draw it, it's this big gap here, and then we push. There's two gaps next to each other, but once we inverse this big one, we push to the highs. In Q, we did continue lower. We at 9:30 came up and swept this internal high here, and then we came back up a little bit at 9:45, like I always say, and then boom, 10 o'clock we push. That's why I always trade at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, you get a move, and then you get 10 o'clock. 10:15, 10:45. You just ran down, and then we took out these lows. So decent price action, on both. You got a nice liquidity sweep. Power of 3 came up. That's why my indicators for it. 9:30 open. We come up above it, hopefully, and then go down for your Judas swing at 9:30. England gold. We got. Obviously bigger move on NQ. So decent price action on both. If you need to see the fair value gap, is this. Once we candle closed above it. That was your trade. These two candles. And you just take it to a 1 to 2, whatever that looks like for you. Whatever your stop loss went to risk, make sure it's just 1 to 2. This one you could have got a way better, almost like a turtle soup trade. Right at 10 o'clock. I wouldn't even waited for the power of 3 at 10 o'clock. Got in right at 10 o'clock. For 1 to 4. 1 to 4.3. Next, New York session. Let's keep going, like I said. So yeah, it's really up to you. If you want to trade gold and switch, trade both. Do your thing. Gold already came down here and pushed up to these highs. Let's see if it reverses from here. That would be the cleanest price action, unless I need to zoom out for another high somewhere. Ooh. We'll do this one if we're not already at it, and then we'll do this one. Yeah, if it wants to go way up there. Then in Q, we already swept these highs up here, so it's just looking like we want to go down to either this low or this low. There's a bunch of fair value gaps over here if it does want to go higher. Let's just see. Let's mark 8:30 and 9:30 and just see which one respects the price action the best. And this is why you always backtest before you get on the chart with something, or before just jumping in. Most people I know trade gold at night though. They don't even trade it in the morning. Alright, we went up to this high. Just sent a gift. Thank you so much, George, for the gift. Okay. Both are playing out how I called. In Q, not the best. Came up, almost hit this. 10 o'clock, we finally got a reversal. So this could have been like your 10 o'clock reversal just to this low here. Trade being this. It's 15-minute charts. I don't know if this is even a good movement or even get a good entry on the 3-minute chart. So I'm not going to say, like, you might get your entry way down here and then that's not a trade. So we'll see. However, gold came up, came back into this lovely order block per usual. It loves them, and then it went up to the highs. Also, I've been seeing gold actually finally starts moving around 9:30, 10 as well, so you really could trade it at the same time. 8:30 is usually peak. I mean, technically 8:30, if you got in 8:30 at buys, I don't know why you would know we were at buys. I mean, yeah, we did get a liquidity sweep and then a nice wick on the bottom for we want to go higher, long wick. So maybe that was your sign for buys. And then you could have got a buy right to this point. That's a decent trade. But if you got in at 9:30 or 10, it came back to this order block for you, and then you got a bigger trade. You know what I'm saying? It's very much, they do say that too about gold. Like, gold's always trending. So for the most part, what you're looking for with gold is like, oh, are we in an uptrend? Let's get a pullback somewhere, and I'm going to enter on the pullback. I learned that. I took a trade on Friday wanting to catch a reversal, and it was a continuation. It just pulled back. On the 15-minute, I didn't look at the 15-minute chart. I was on the 3-minute chart, so this was like my move. But my target was like down here, and then I got stopped out. On the 15-minute chart, it just tapped into a fair value gap and kept going higher. That's what it was. In Q, this isn't this gold is better today. Like I said, gold has been having better price action. However, for us NQ traders, you start to, and also more people, so your entry would have been here, which is not the best risk to reward. So it's not even something you would have traded, at all. Versus gold, let's see. Yeah, it's pretty nice. You come up here, you get in here, and you get a nice little run. 1 to 5 almost, 1 to 6 maybe. Yeah, almost 1 to 6. So is the market open tomorrow? The market is open tomorrow. The market's open right now. The market is open right now. We're in Asian session. It is open. I checked though. Stock market is open. Because I know for futures and forex traders, it's always open for us. The only time it's closed is Easter for real. So you can trade every holiday. I've traded many holidays on futures and forex accidentally. However, the stock market is also open tomorrow for options people. So most time futures people don't trade when the stock market is closed. Even the future market is open, but they're all open tomorrow. Let's hit a trade, JK. Absolutely not. I don't trade at night. People like to. I would love to learn to, but I don't. I get that morning in and I go on about my day. Alrighty. Gold and NQ. So far, what are y'all liking better? Sticking with NQ, sticking with gold? I do feel like I should just stick with NQ because I've just been trading it. But like I said, I've been liking this gold price action. It's just too slow. Gold is too slow for you? It is a little slower. It is. You're right. Gold is very slow. It is. I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Then people, when I went down a rabbit hole to like really decide if I want to switch, and everyone was like, well, gold just is so shitty in these fake outs. I'm like, where? Even the loss I took on gold, I saw exactly why I lost. I didn't look at the higher time frames because I was overshooting it, only seeing the 3-minute time frame. Okay. I mean, we could keep going lower. I'm not that far zoomed out to see if both these want to reverse at this point, but let's see. All right, gold didn't really sweep any liquidity. This happened on Thursday on NQ as well. I guess it swept an internal liquidity point, but it didn't sweep the low I wanted and just straight reverse and took out the high. But that's a good trade. 9:15, 9:30, boom, reverse to the upside. Clean fucking trade. Let's see if it gave you into in 3 minutes. Someone said there's never a perfect time. You just gotta be ready. I would stay with NQ. Remember, moment unique. You might get that. I agree, but that's why I picked 10 o'clock. Because 10 o'clock, you'll get them. If you want to trade, this is my journey and my trading strategy. Because I know myself and my patience. I've back tested 8:30 a.m., 9:30 a.m., and the afternoon session. I just don't like trading afternoon session. 10 o'clock to 12, you'll get the most setups. Yes, there will be days where you won't get a setup, but you'll get more setups sitting at 10 o'clock than you will any other time on NQ and ES. I've back tested that, and that's why I do it. So if there's days I don't get a setup, I'm not pissed. And there's days, because I don't have the patience to sit all day, like some people do. Some people can just really sit all day on the charts. I won't. maybe one day, but that's not my goal with trading. So I get on the chart where I know the best move will happen in a 2 hour time frame, and it works. It got me funded. Okay. Gold today. Oh yeah, I was going to see the move. We got our change in state delivery here. Your entry is here at this candle close, and it did run up a good bit for you. It did take a while though, like 9:30 to 9:30 to 10:30. It's not bad. Even though you got it at 8:30. Honestly, sometimes gold you might can get on 9:30, and then obviously in Q, the lovely 10 a.m. reversal that I was preached by. It's my favorite trade of the day. I love a 10 a.m. reversal. It's just so clear. Liquidity sweep. 9:30. The perfect day for me is 9:30. Brings us into a higher time frame. PD array. 10 o'clock. We reverse. 10:30, 11, 10:45. Beautiful trade. 2 good price action days. So to me, 10 o'clock. Obviously, 9:30 is not bad because you just wait till 10 o'clock. You'll get moves at 9:30 sometimes. You'll get moves at 10. But even if there's a big move at 9:30 that runs down a bunch, 10 o'clock it'll run down some more for a good trade on the continuation days, or you just don't take them. The continuation days are more rare than the reversal days. Or like Friday, where yes, you saw the reversal at 9:30, but you didn't get. No one got their entry until 10 o'clock. Same with Thursday. The reversal happened at like 9:45, but there was no entry until 10 o'clock. Like no inverse value gap, no market structure shift, etc., etc. And that's what I learned, because that's why I did it. I know people are like, oh, there's no perfect time. No, 10 o'clock. And it lines up with if you trade ICT. ICT silver bullet. The 950 to 1010 macros. The start of the 10 a.m. 4-hour candle. There's another strategy at 10 a.m. It lines up with the orb strategy. If you wait for the breakout for the first 15 to 30 minutes of the day. 10 o'clock just lines up with so many strategies that I was like, that's the one. And it works. I get on, and sometimes I get on, and 9:30 did all the work for me, and I just buy or sell. Some days we're already too close to a pivot point, and then I have to wait. And some days you just don't trade at all, and that's fine. All right, 8:30. We already done ran down. Took out this liquidity, so let's see if we reverse from here or not. And then on NQ we had news at 8:30. So let's see if we do like a news high, a data high, data low day. Because we're right in the middle. Let's see how both play out. But yeah, that's just me. But also, that's what I say, you have to cater your trading to your patience. I knew I'm not patient, so I said, what time of the day I can get on, and if I get on at 10, 5 days a week, 4 or 3 out of 2, or 4 out of 5, or 3 out of 5 days, I'm gonna get it set up, and then other days I won't. And that was 10 for me. And it's the biggest move of the day usually, between 10 and 12. So I can just trade once and move on. Okay, today gold is slow and booty, but it is trending. It is trending. And then on NQ, we did just run through the data high. So 9:30, this was a day, where I see like 10 o'clock, I'm already halfway in the move, and that's why I thought I'd get on 9:30, but even at 10, we still got a good push. More of a push than we got at 9:30. So you still get like the other half of the trade, and we're still far. So I could have gotten at 10, which is here, and then, take it all the way up to this blue line, which it should go to. Boom. Great trade. I live in San Diego, so if I want to trade a 10 reverse, I wake up at 7 and 6. Yes, okay, so when I was trading in 2020, when I didn't take it seriously, I was in Georgia because it was COVID. I went to go stay with my parents for the summer during COVID, and then I lived in LA. I was still doing costumes. When I finally went back to LA to continue trading, it was bad. That 6:30 a.m. was killing me. I was trading options at the time, too. That 6:30 a.m. and I'm thinking about moving back to LA again. Like, I don't know where I'm going to live when I leave. when I get rich, basically. But LA was home for 10 years. But I'm like, fuck, trading in LA and that early in the morning is gonna piss me off. Like, East Coast is perfect. Like, 10 o'clock is perfect, go to the gym, whatever. But 6, especially because, like, if you have dinner plans or you, like, your friends want to go out on a Thursday night, like, you can, like, never go out. Well, I can't because I need sleep. I could, like, never go out on a weekday, which is fine. Just go out on the weekend. But I feel you, it is early. Here in Mexico, getting up at 8:30 to trade gold is 6 for me. I'm an hour ahead of California. What time are you using on Q in New York? I always use New York and my computer set to New York. I speak in New York, even though I'm on Arizona time, but I don't speak in it. Like, my computer set to 8:30. When I say I go live every night at 8, it's 8 Eastern. Because ICT concepts work on, I'm in Merida, Mexico, in the Yucatan. Yeah, you trade early. That's the good thing about that in California. You can trade super early, and then you can go to work. What time frame are you using? Right now, I'm on the 15-minute. I'm on the 15-minute chart, but I use all 3. I usually trade on the 15-minute chart too, though. I go on the 3-minute, and if it's like a run up that I can't get an entry off of. But like I said, since I trade at 10, usually I can just get a buy or sell right at 10 o'clock, so I don't really have to go on the lower time frame. Sometimes I do, but most of the time I don't. Thank you. Of course. Sorry, man. The actual time frame. No, yeah, you're fine. But yeah, 15-minute chart, 1 hour chart. I'm hoping I could just stay on the 15-minute chart now that I have this beautiful indicator here. You see it's printing in real time, going down to this fair value gap. It's just so good. If I didn't care about SMT, which you don't really need, you need SMT, but you don't. Like yesterday, we were already in a 1 hour fair value gap. We reversed. We went up. You could have seen that without, ES. But obviously with ES, you were more clear and you were very more confident in your buys. That's why I use SMT. But if you didn't, you could just zoom out and use these higher time frames. You don't have to go back and forth between higher time frames because you have them here. It's Johnny just posted a video about that today, and I've been using it. We'll see how it works next week while I trade. I could hate this and be like, I don't want to use this anymore. But for now, I like it. Okay, go back to gold. Yeah, gold was moving slow, but it did eventually go higher. Where was 8:30? Okay, well, this giant 8:30 news candle. Oh, I zoomed in. It's not that great. But, and then by 12, it's 4 hours. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm not sitting on the chart 4 hours. Again, if you have the patience, you're going to be a fucking phenomenal trader. Not saying I'm not going to be a fucking phenomenal trader. I am a phenomenal trader. However, for me, I know myself. So if you want to do that, you can do that as well. I know people who just trade PM session, 2 to 4. That's it. I know people who just trade. Like, you don't have to sit at 9:30 to 4. You don't have to do that at all. Get on a chart, pick a time frame, and you trade only reversals, only continuations, only EMA taps, only whatever the fuck. Do that. If you want to scalp all day, do that. Whatever works for you. You have to do what works for you. And for me, it's getting on at 10, because sometimes 9:30 fakes. Like, it starts going one way, like strongly. Like, it could easily have gone through this low, candle closed below it a little bit, you get in a trade, then you lost, and it just runs up the rest of the day. And you're like, what the fuck? Like 9:30? And then there are days where 9:30 is so clear. I remember one day I got on 9:30, and we got like a SMT in the 15-minute chart. We came up, and then we swept. And that's why if I do get on 9:30, or you do get on at 9:30, I suggest sitting again on the 15-minute, 10-minute, 30-minute chart, because you just see moves for fully what they are, versus like on the 1 minute or the 3 minute, and you're trying to take every little opening range Judas swing. Because I got fucking destroyed trying to trade at 9:30 on the 1 minute chart. Just being eager beaver. One day I'll not be so eager and it'll be great, but I know myself now. I have to sit on a higher time frame until we really start to move a little bit, and then get on a lower time frame. If I sit on a lower time frame, any little fair value gap tap or whatever, I'm like, buy, sell, and then lost. Which it didn't matter back then, because I used to take 2 trades a day, and then my first trade would be like a small fake out, and then my second trade would be like the real trade of the day. But now that I know to still in a higher time frame, I don't get those fake outs anymore. And I just take one trade a day, and if I lose, it's usually just because I take a bad trade, and then I just get the chart. Hi, how are you? Cap trades. All right, 8:30. We came up and swept on gold. Our target should be these London lows, which we already kind of did already. So this would be, because we're at 9:30 for here, so it's already past 8:30. But came up, swept these highs in beautiful reversal, equal lows at London or the top of this fair value gap, or to fill this whole fair value gap. Let's see where gold goes, and then we'll see where NQ is supposed to go. And this is what I'm just talking about, like, what's your RR? 1 to 2, 1 to 2.5, 1 to 3. Now I just stick to 1 to 2 though. I don't get greedy because I get like really scary holding my trade. So now I do a 1 to 2 only. And I take a profit at 1 to 1, and then I let my second runner run to 1 to 2. Emotionally, I've been low. But usually just whatever liquidity point. So say NQ goes down for us, my target would just be this low here, and that might give us a 1 to, obviously we wait till 10 o'clock because sometimes you'll get in a trade like this. 10 o'clock will come sweep this high, and then we'll go lower. But, so like 1 to 3. So it does vary, but right now I just take 1 to 2s because I've been very emotional since I got funded. So I'm trying to, make it easier for myself. We do have a fair value gap in the 15-minute chart, so maybe we just come to the 15-minute gap and go lower. It would be nice for NQ. And this is why I want to see what has the best price action. Like what easily says, oh, gap liquidity is what we're testing. Not like super smart market maker, crazy analysis. Like what respects just simple price action the best to trade. But also the most people I know trade NQ. Everyone trades NQ. Okay, boom. Gold went straight there. So you had an hour work day. 8:30, we came up, took out these highs. Gold, you're done. You're off the chart. We got our liquidity sweep. We reversed. And then, like I said, London lows to the gap. Then I call it. Boom. Did it. Done. All right. NQ came up into the 15-minute gap, and now we're pushing. Can we keep pushing to these lows like I called earlier, or will it reverse somewhere forward and fake us out? Like that. Not the best price action. However, this is why I get on at what? 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, I saw this wick, and I would have played the reversal to the upside. But you would have wanted a nice... Obviously, there's a bunch of fair value gaps in here that maybe just want to reverse from without sweeping liquidity, which is fine. I guess that's what gold did. But there was nice liquidity in here. We had already swept all this liquidity at 9:30. So the next liquidity point on NQ was down here. So not terrible, but this is what I'm talking about. You can get faked out at 9:30. You're buying sells to take down to this liquidity point, and then 10 o'clock it decides, actually, I don't want to do that. And now we're probably going to these London highs. Let's see. Maybe we're not. Maybe we fucking go back down, and then we all just lose. Boom. Great trade. And when that trade, 10:30. So 10:30, you finally start to move up. Not terrible price action on NQ, but I would say gold was better. Gold was like, hey, boom. If you enter on the 1 minute, what's your highest time frame you look at? I enter on the 3. The highest time frame I look at is the 4 hour. I enter on the 3 because you can get faked out on the 1 minute. And not faked out meaning like, oh, you just took a dumb trade. Like the 1 minute will give you a clean market structure shift, fair value gap tap, change in the state delivery, and still stop your ass out because it's just too small of a time frame. Like you can easily just take so many like change in the state deliveries, inverse fair value gaps, and then get faked out. So I stopped. At the 3 minute for me has been the best. 5 minute, your entries are a little too late. How do I start? YouTube University. Start on YouTube and watch a bunch of strategies and see what makes sense to you. Personally, I think ICT was the easiest. I know he has so many concepts and people say he's hard. Yes, but if you just watch the 2022 mentorship, learn that fair value gaps exist, and we're always moving to a fair value gap or liquidity point, which is just your swing highs and swing lows. That is easy for me to understand. We swept the liquidity, and then we reversed to where? A fair value gap. We bounced to the fair value gap, and we went up to what? Liquidity. That's how I trade. All that other stuff you don't really need. You'll learn it as you go along. Like now I know CISD, and I know market maker sells, market maker buys, inverse fair value gaps, etc., etc. But for the most part, liquidity and fair value gaps is all you need. But just watch a bunch of YouTube videos because it has to click for you. Like, don't force ICT down your throat if you don't understand it. Don't force scalping down your throat if you don't understand it. Like, it might take you a while, but like I learned support and resistance. I watched a bunch of like options videos and like videos to start trading, and like I was taking notes, and it was just like, okay, whatever, like I understand, but you know, like on the chart it wasn't correlating. And then I watched like TJR's bootcamp first, which, as y'all know, I don't fuck with TJR anymore. But if you need to watch the bootcamp, I always suggest to watch it, and then don't after that, especially if you're a person of color, because he's a racist and he's a misogynist. You don't have to agree with me, because a lot of men like to stick up for him, but it's usually white men, and you obviously you're not going to care if he's a racist or misogynist. Anyways, but then I watched ICT after TJR, because TJR dumbs it down for you, and then I watched the ICT mentorship, and it really clicked for me. Like, I saw all the shit they were saying. Like, I saw all the shit they were saying so easily. And then I immediately got on the chart, watched it for a month without taking any trades, marking up just like this, like what they taught me. And then I immediately got on the charts and really started like making money or being break even, but just really understanding how to trade. So do it that what you will. But always start on YouTube, and don't try to, like I said, don't force anything that doesn't work. You might like trend lines. You might like I even watch strategies now. I'm not switching my strategy because I'm honed in on my strategy. I'm honed in on ICT, but now I like to watch different strategies just to see what people are trading and if it's simpler. Like, if I wouldn't say I would switch ICT, but if I found a strategy that's like so simple and I fuck with it, I could. Garland trades just left ICT after ICT made him like 6 figures. He trades the opening range breakout, which I backtested the last 2 days, and it actually is a pretty good strategy. The 15-minute opening range breakout I don't like, but the 5-minute one I do like. But the 15-minute one would be marking the 15-minute candle, this, which I don't prefer, but it worked out this day. And then you wait for a full candle close out of either side, and then you finally get it here, which actually lines up with this inverse value gap, and then you take the trade. But then they don't tell you where your stop loss and profit target is. You either just have to do like a 1 to 2. Usually when we back tested it, I did the close of the body of the candle that broke is what I did, which honestly I might have been stopped out if I did that on here. Yeah, I already got stopped out. So some people do the bottom of the range, which I think is fucking criminal. You'll have to play around with that. And that's really the main thing with ICT that I liked. He tells you where to have your take profits, where to have your stop losses at, and they work. Versus like a lot of orb, supply and demand, EMA scalps, you have to play with your own risk or set your own risk. But the market sometimes doesn't, a set risk doesn't work all the time. Versus like, if we're in an uptrend, we're making higher highs, higher lows. So basically, if you're in an uptrend and you're buying buys, your stop loss should just be a swing low, because once we break a swing low, now we're in a downtrend. Like, that made sense to me. Versus on this orb strategy, yes, this trade played out beautifully, but if your stop loss was too tight, you got stopped out. But if you did the body, not the body of the candle, but if you did the wick of the candle, you'd have been fine. You have to wait till the candle closed, so your entry would have been here, stop loss below the body, the wick, and then I was seeing if you get a 1 to 2. That's why I backtested on the 5-minute. On the 15, I don't know if you'll get it, but you might. Boom, you got it. So that's the orb strategy. You wait for a breakout of this opening range, which lines up at what? After 10 o'clock, 10 to 12, the prime time to trade. Too many strategies line up with 10 o'clock, so that's why I trade at 10 o'clock. But do what you will. You'll find a strategy on YouTube, and you can change them later if you want, but you should stick with it till you get profitable first. Like, don't change before you get profitable. But it has to click. Don't force it either. Like, you see a strategy you like, and then you're like, I see this. I see this open range. I see this breakout. I see this. I see this EMA tap, whatever. But you have to be able to see it on your own in real time. And then you'll get on the charts and you'll watch in real time, because nothing beats that. And then you'll back test after that to help try to speed up things, because you don't want to waste money sitting on the chart, but you do have to sit on the chart every day. You can't not do that. But you don't want to try different strategies in real time on the chart because it might take you years to get profitable versus you can back test. How many trades have we back tested tonight? Like what, 10? We do like 10 in an hour. So do with that what you will. Okay, so on gold, we already took out some highs. I'm sure we came into, fair value gap still. Maybe we go down to this low. We already halfway down though at 8:30, so it wasn't like we cut the top at 8:30. 8:30 here, but at 8:30 could have got sells immediately, got into sells, and then there's London low, there's Asian low, and there's this low. So whatever gives you a 1 to 2. Let's see if you got in right at 8:30 open. Stop loss above the highs. Your 1 to 2 is it's London low. So bam. Let's see if we get it. Might not. It's terrible price action today. We get stopped out. And then we'll look at NQ. NQ is doing, I don't know what the fuck it's doing. And we get stopped out. Actually, not quite. We're about to be. Boom. Okay, now we're stopped out. So that didn't work out for once on gold. But they, like I said, they do say gold is trending, so technically if you're looking for buys, we did come into this order block and then went higher. But that's the thing about gold I don't like. I don't know when it's going to reverse and actually go down because you saw we got a few reversals right at 8 o'clock. Or if it's going to reverse and just go into order block and then go higher and not take out liquidity. That's my problem with gold I don't like. I don't know if we're just reversing to come to order block to continue or reversing. But I mean, in that case, you could always just wait for it to come down first. So you either would wait for the order block or wait for the liquidity sweep will be better and then see how it reverses off that. Because it should always come down like that one we did, this one. We played down to the fair value gap. You could have just waited for the fair value gap and played up. I've noticed that's how gold likes to move. You should just like wait for it to come down to something or up to something and continue the trend. That's what I think. Okay, now NQ, what did we get? All right, we came up, swept all this liquidity, which liquidity before fair value gap is called inducement, but like you don't even need to know what that means. But you have a fair value gap. We came up into it, and then we reversed down and take out these lows. Not a bad trade. 10 o'clock again is the move. Swept the morning because I've also gotten in trades early at 9:30 and then 10:30 comes up, sweeps you out, and then goes your way. So I wait till 10 o'clock. We came up, and then we went down, and that's the trade, the 10 o'clock trade, 10 o'clock reversal, per usual. So NQ had better price action this day. Gold, you know, if you're with the trend, you won on gold. If you weren't, like me, cause I don't trade the trend. I just trade whatever move is in my favor that day. Obviously, you want it to be a trend, like boom, come up into a gap and then reverse. But some days it comes up to here, which gives me a nice 1 to 3 to this liquidity point until we break this higher, we're not in an uptrend. So it could come up here and then still go continue lower. So that's why I don't really trade with the trend necessarily. I just trade whatever setup I see at the time I'm on the charts. So if gold is a trending thing, this is a strong reversal, then maybe it should come down to here and reverse. And then we'll mark liquidity and reverse back up. Let's see if it actually just does that. NQ maybe comes down and take out these London lows. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so NQ came into this fair value gap, 9:30 came out, and then 10 o'clock we're starting to reverse. But we could be reversing to go higher still, but let's see if we take out the data low on NQ. Boom, beautiful in NQ. 10 a.m. reversal, the best trade of the day, I'm telling you. Now, what I've noticed with gold too, the times where it does take out liquidity is like a news day. I've noticed that with news, but then the first day I looked at NQ, we had a big news candle, and it did come tap into the gap and then continue higher. So you just don't know with gold. Like I said, if you just waited for the order block to be hit or the data load to be hit and then reverse, you do get the reversal, but again, it's not as strong and it's slow, and you're already about to be at 2 p.m. So do with that what you will. Versus NQ, you got our lovely 10 a.m. reversal like we do most of the time, which is why I trade. I like a 10 a.m. reversal. It's just easy. A lot of us ICT traders are reversal traders, and usually you'll get it. And it's beautiful. And sometimes there's SMT with ES, and then you just keep doing your thing. So I think I'm gonna stick to NQ. I am for now. I've already devoted so much to it. She made me a funded person. So we'll continue with backtesting NQ and stuff tomorrow, which is again our higher time frames. We'll try the 30-minute tomorrow, and like I said, this indicator is the higher time frame, ICT higher time frame. If you want to try it, I'm gonna try it tomorrow. It prints in real time, so you don't need the power of 3 that prints. I'll show you the power of 3. I'll add it back to this one, but you should use one of the two. They're the best. Okay, so power of 3 prints like this in real time, just the candle. So it's the daily. You can switch it to the 4 hour, the 1 hour, whatever you want. But with this one, higher time frame ICT, is printing the 1 hour chart for you, the 4 hour chart for you, the daily chart for you, and the weekly. I think I can turn off the daily and the weekly. Let's see, because I don't give a fuck about the daily or the weekly. If anyone knows me, I really don't care. Oh, beautiful. There we go. So our 4 hour and our 1 hour chart, those are my babies. And then, we have this 1 hour for value gap. And yeah, let me switch this to the 4 hour is the only candle I care about for this one, because I trade the 10 a.m. 4 hour candle is really my strategy. And it's like, it's a bearish candle so far. And that is that, y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to trade live tomorrow because it's Columbus Day. But we're open and we're moving. So do with that what you will. I've traded holidays a bunch, and it's not the worst. I'm usually like in profit, and then I'm like, what's happening? Why are we hitting my TP? And then I'll just sell for like halfway. It'll like move a bunch and then like go almost to your TP and then start trading sideways like this. So do with that what you will. Sorry, I need to label all this for my dark mode. There we go. Show all the things for me. But yeah, these are all good indicators. Don't let anyone shun you for using indicators. It's Johnny uses this one in the ICT everything. So basically he just uses this higher time frame one and then his like 9:30 open, 8:30 open, midnight open. I use the ICT sessions to show me liquidity. It's easy for my SMT. Like I showed before, we didn't take out this low on ES, we took it out in Q. Perfect sign to buys. And then what happened? We went up. Beautiful. Just easy extra confirmation to keep you confident. Whatever makes you confident in your trading is what you need on your chart. Don't let anyone bully you because you like to use indicators. I use a fair value gap indicator, which I'm sure everyone is like, why the fuck would you do that? Because there's so many and I'm not drawing them all. I'm literally not drawing them all. There's literally so many. You don't know if we're going to go into this one or to this one. It doesn't matter to me because it's going to go up to one of these three and then it's going to start moving back down. Either way, I'm ready. Versus if you draw just one or the other, you might get an inversion of this one, not seeing this one, and now look at you. Lost. But yeah, every night, 8 p.m., I backtest like this, so y'all can join me tomorrow, and then let's have a good trading week.